गुड मॉर्निंग मोक्ष एंड रचित. हाउ वाज योर एग्जाम बेटे? कैसे गया आपका पेपर?
Yes, I'm अच्छा.
Okay. Let us wait for 2 minutes more and I will start the class by 50, 10:50 because only two students are there. Let me message them in the group. Please wait and I'm going to start the class. Is my voice audible to all of you? So we were doing the Python libraries. We were doing some questions of Python libraries, and I've shown you on the previous class how we could create a package and can place all the modules in it, and then the practical from the libraries can be the questions like what are the inbuilt modules. So there are some inbuilt modules which you have to use, and you need to use in your programs. Okay, so just see here, I just show you some inbuilt modules which are there in this libraries, and the chapter will end. Okay, using the standard library functions and modules. इसका मतलब है कुछ ऐसे functions हैं जो inbuilt है, जैसे मैथमेटिकल फंक्शंस में पाई है आपका, फिर उसके बाद यू नो so for calculating the what you can say area of a circle, or wherever we require the value of a pi, we can use it, from the module math. So math module have the all the functions like degrees, to calculate degree, to find the pi. So it is there in the math module. You can see here some of the important modules designed to encourage and enhance the portability of the Python programs, such as the math module for mathematical functions, and random modules for pseudo random number generations. And you have a string modules also used for string or text related functions. So these are all. Please remember, whenever you are using a string module, you need to import the string modules and can use the functions of the string modules. Now we should know prior to that what are the functions of a module. ठीक है, उसके आपको पहले पता होना चाहिए, जैसे एरिया ऑफ अ रेगुलर पॉलीगन है, you need to calculate the area of a regular polygon. For that we will require the math module. So from math import the tan and the pi. ठीक है, हम क्या कर रहे हैं, from statement use कर रहे हैं, from math module import the tan comma pi. So we are using the two values, that is tan and the pi, from the math modules to calculate the area of the polygon. Okay, next is write a Python program to find the roots of a quadratic equation. You can easily find out. Okay, again you need to use the math module. So next is now write a program to calculate the length of an angle. अब ये जो है इसके लिए हमें कौन सा मॉड्यूल यूज करना पड़ेगा लेंथ ऑफ एन एंगल के लिए? Again we will be using the math module. So next comes write a Python program to convert a binary to decimal number. Now number conversion is also done using the math module, because there are some functions which are provided by math module. जैसे यहाँ पे क्या करा हुआ है, जैसे आपको कन्वर्शन का फंक्शन है, बाइनरी डिजिट से डेसिमल नंबर पे आपको कन्वर्ट करना है. ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट यू विल टेक द बाइनरी नंबर व्हिच यू वांट टू कन्वर्ट टू द डेसिमल नंबर, एंड देन यू विल यूज द लॉजिक. नाउ व्हाट इज द लॉजिक फॉर कन्वर्शन? ठीक है, हम कैसे करते हैं उसको कन्वर्ट, बाइनरी नंबर को डेसिमल में अगर मुझे कन्वर्ट करना है तो व्हाट विल आई डू? So first I will take a variable value is equal to 0. Then I will say for I in the range length of the binary number. Then digit is equal to the binary number dot pop. Pop means you are removing the last digit basically. If the digit is equal to 1, value is equal to value plus math dot power. So here is the logic which is used for calculating the decimal number, for finding the decimal number. And you can see from the logic here, the input taken from the user is converted to a list using the function list. पहले यहाँ पे जो input ले रहे हैं उसको हमने list form में convert करा. You can see it's a list. B number, that is the binary number, is the list. You can get stored inside the variable B number. And now the loop gets executed up to the length of the list, that is the number of the list elements. ये तब तक चलेगा. With every iteration, each digit is extracted. जब से ये for loop कब तक चल रहा है आपका, till the length of the binary number it will be there. And now they are saying the loop gets executed up to the length of the list, that is the number of the list elements. With every iteration, each digit is extracted or popped from the list using the function pop. So this extracted digit is checked for character as 1 and is raised to the power 2. Finally the value gets printed, which is in a decimal format. In the case the digit is 0, no execution takes place, since the product of any value with 0 results 0 itself. So यहाँ पे हम तभी चेक कर रहे हैं कि अगर डिजिट 1 है तो आप उसका एक्सपोनेंट निकालेंगे. अगर यहाँ डिजिट 1 नहीं है, if the digit is not 1 or it is 0, then there is no point of like no execution will take place, because the product of the value with 0 will always result 0 itself. So we need to check the digit is 1. The value is equal to value, whatever value 0 plus the whatever number you are taking. Suppose math dot power 2 comma 1. ठीक है, I is basically जो आपके length जो variable है, it's a variable, and you will find out the decimal number by using this logic which is mentioned here, basically for converting the binary to decimal. ऐसे हम कैसे करते हैं? Who knows? Someone knows about how we convert the binary to decimal? What we do for conversion? बाइनरी को आप उसमें कैसे कन्वर्ट करते हो? आप 2 into raised to the power 0 करते हैं इस नंबर से, तो इसमें भी वही लॉजिक यूज कर रहे हैं. इसमें भी they are using the same logic which you used, but here in the code you have to mention that. So you will be using the math module सो मैथ मॉड्यूल में यहाँ पे आपको इसलिए यूज करा गया क्योंकि हमने एक्सपोनेंट जो पावर फंक्शन किसका है, व्हाट इज द पावर फंक्शन? पावर इज द फंक्शन यूज्ड फॉर कैलकुलेटिंग द एक्सपोनेंट। तो अगर आपको 2 रेज टू द पावर 5 निकालना है उसके लिए हमें मैथ मॉड्यूल हैज टू यूज। नेक्स्ट कम्स टू स्ट्रिंग फंक्शन। अब स्ट्रिंग मॉड्यूल्स को हम कैसे यूज कर सकते हैं? नाउ सपोज वी हैव अ फंक्शन where we need to take a list of words and returns the length of the longest one। आपके पास एक फंक्शन है जहाँ पे लिस्ट ऑफ वर्ड्स है, जैसे कि JSP कंप्यूटर्स इन पाइथन 3, एंड यू नीड टू रिटर्न द लेंथ ऑफ द लॉन्गेस्ट वन। और JSP की लेंथ कितनी है? 3, computers की 9, and Python 3 is 7, so longest is 9, so computers is the longest one. Now you need to just use the logic here, make the logic such that you need to find the largest length of the words. Because so first what you will do, you use a function which takes the list of words and returns the length of the longest one. So first you take function is taking the list of the words, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे हमने एक function create करा find longest word, उसमें हमने parameter pass करा words underscore list, and this word length is first empty। आपने एक list ली, एक empty list ली, उसमें क्या करा for n in the word list, कि जब तक ये जो वर्ड लिस्ट जो आप पैरामीटर ले रहे हो उसमें एक वेरिएबल लिया आपने, उसमें आप चेक कर रहे हो अपेंड द लेंथ विद n। n मींस बेसिकली द वेरिएबल, ठीक है? और वर्ड लेंथ क्या आपका दिस वर्ड लेंथ इज बेसिकली अभी यहाँ पे एम्प्टी लिस्ट है, तो लिस्ट में हम अपेंड कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? दिस इज अपेंडिंग द n कैरेक्टर इन द लिस्ट। सो नेक्स्ट इज आप उसको अपेंड करने के बाद उसको सॉर्ट कर रहे हो, फिर लिस्ट को हम सॉर्ट कर देंगे यूजिंग द सॉर्ट फंक्शन, एंड देन वी आर रिटर्निंग द लेंथ, return the length of the list। This is just see here -1 and 1, so that means now print last statement is the print statement which is printing। यहाँ से हम कॉल कर रहे हैं, function is being called from the print statement, you can see here, okay? Find underscore longest dot word, it is being called from here, and there are 3 words which are being passed by this DSP computers in Python 3, and by using the logic we have calculated that the longest length of the string is computers। Now in the work program, 2 inbuilt function append and sort has been used for adding the elements to the empty list, that is the word underscore length, and the list elements are sorted in the ascending order using the sort function। So यहाँ पे हमने import करा string, have imported the string, so where we need to import the string function, so because we have used the 2 methods of the string function, that is append and the second is the sort function। Right now there is again a next program where we can import the like just see here, मैं आपको वो दिखाना चाह रही हूँ जहाँ पे import कर रहा हूँ string module in Python। Just see here the practical implementation 11, write a Python program to swap each character of a given string from the lower to the uppercase and vice versa। Swapping basically means interchanging the characters of the string। कि आप लोअर केस से क्या कर रहे हो, अपर केस में लेके जा रहे हो, और जो अपर केस है उसको आप लोअर केस में कन्वर्ट करोगे। तो आप एक पहले स्ट्रिंग एंड इनपुट करोगे, you are passing this in a function, you are passing the string as a parameter, and you take result underscore str is empty, this string is empty for item in the str1, ठीक है? आप एक वेरिएबल कोई भी ले सकते हो, आइटम लिया हुआ यहाँ पे, यू कैन टेक x also for x in str1 if the x dot is upper। अगर उसमें जो इस str1 में अगर you are using this कि इसमें कोई अपर करेक्टर है, अगर है तो उसको लोअर में कन्वर्ट कर दो, अगर नहीं है एल्स पार्ट में देन यू विल कन्वर्ट द lower into upper, okay? This is the logic which we have used। First you check in str1 what are the upper characters, if there is an upper characters then convert to the lower one, else part may convert to the upper one, and you returning the string result underscore str will be returned, and then you are just see here you calling from here, लेकिन यहाँ पे हम किसको कॉल कर रहे हैं, swap underscore case underscore string function is called। इसमें अलग अलग string पास हो रही है, पहली में हम strings module in, सेकेंड केस में हम पाइथन कर रहे हैं, थर्ड में मैटप्लॉटलिब लाइब्रेरी पास कर रहे हैं। तो 3 strings are being passed in the functions, and we are converting the upper case into the lower case and lower to the upper, vice versa, ठीक है? So here again we have used the string, देखो उसमें क्या कर रहा है, string module in जो आपको कैपिटल में था वो अब लोअर केस में आ गया, S will be in the small case, T जो lower में था upper में हो गया. So it has converted the string into you can say swapping the elements of the characters basically or on the basis of the lower and the upper case. Okay, so here in this chapter, basically, if I revise this chapter, so in this chapter of Python libraries, we discuss about what is a package, what is a module, how we can import the modules. There are three ways of importing the modules, which statements you can use, okay, depending on the requirement of the program you need to use. Then you have a namespace. What is a namespace? Why we require? Okay, and then after names, understanding the namespace, you have module क्या consist करता है? What a module consists of? So a module consists of doc strings, variables, constant, classes, objects, statements, functions, and has the dot p by extension. So now import statements आपको आनी चाहिए. You can use the import statement, and there are some inbuilt modules which are there like math, statistic module. We have random modules to generate the random numbers. Then we have the string module for using the string functions. So a library now next is a library. How to create a library? So I think I have told you how to create a library, and a library is a collection of modules which cater to specific types of needs or applications. Okay, so next again there is a inbuilt module that is URL lib module. It is there. Okay, ये क्या करता है URL lib module? It lets us send and receive the HTTP request and the results, and the web browser lets you open the web page from within the Python program. अगर मुझे कोई रिक्वेस्ट भेजनी है ब्राउजर के थ्रू और मुझे एक पेज को ओपन करना है यूजिंग द पाइथन प्रोग्राम, so I can use the URL lib module in that case. Okay, then again I have some, these are the inbuilt modules in Python which you can use. Now we have these objective type questions, or you can say we have the filling the blanks first. Now commonly used modules that contain the source code for generic needs are called libraries. Yeah, Python is a dash of is a library or a directory of Python modules. So it's a package. A Python package is a directory of Python modules. Okay. Then C part, we can use any Python source file as the module by executing an import statement. And D is directory function applied to a module give us the names of all that is defined inside the module. अगर मुझे एक फंक्शन के थ्रू जो है सारी अगर हम इसको मॉड्यूल में यूज करते हैं डायरेक्टरी फंक्शन को, it will return me the names of all which is defined inside the module. So next is E part, which is the dash is a variable that holds the names of the module being referenced. Now, what is the name of the variable which is being referenced? So you can write it is underscore name underscore, which is the variable name which holds the names of the module being referenced. And F part is a dash is a separately saved unit whose functionality can be reused at will. So a module is a safe unit which can be reused because एक module को हम अलग-अलग files में use कर सकते हैं by importing the module. The G part is the random module of a Python provides dash functionality, that is random number generation. And G is the random module of Python provides. G part is G is the random number generation, and F was module. A module is a separately saved unit. Then we come the H part. So namespaces are used to distinguish between different sections of a program. Okay, now my question to you is, you will do some programs from this chapter. Okay, you will understand these programs, okay, namespace and these two last. There are three types of namespace which are there. Now, what are the three types of namespace? Why we use it? They are global, local, and built-in namespace. Okay, Python follows the name resolution rule, also known as LEGB rule. Okay, LEGB stands for local, and the second is your enclosed, and G is your global, and B is built-in. Now, state whether the following statements are true or false. Then you can check it. Now, I do the MCQ first. First is what will be the output of the following Python code. जैसे देखो इसमें भी दिया हुआ है, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस भी आ सकते हैं कि आउटपुट के क्वेश्चंस जिसमें कि आपको ये बताना है एग्जीक्यूट करने के बाद फैक्टोरियल 5 क्या है इसका. व्हाट इज द आंसर इज 1 बिकॉज फैक्टोरियल जो 5 का है वो 120 इज द राइट आंसर. So B part is what is the order of the namespace in which the Python looks for an identifier. सबसे पहले LEGB याद रखना आपको, you have to remember L for local, then comes your E. E is for enclosed. Just is there enclosed mention here? Then comes the G for global. I think the answer, just check the answers also. I think answers may be given in the, you know, so first का was fourth, A का fourth था आपका part. A was basically this. यहाँ पे error आ रहा है. This is the error which they are generating because it should be print factorial 5 rather than math dot factorial 5. ठीक है, तो हम जब हम फंक्शन को कॉल कर रहे हैं फैक्टोरियल फंक्शन, then you can't write math dot factorial. You have to write factorial 5 only. Otherwise अगर यहाँ से फैक्टोरियल होता, math dot factorial नहीं है, then it will be 120 will be the answer. Now B part का अगर हम देखते हैं, just check for the B part also. The B part is, it is showing you answer is second. That is Python first searches the local namespace, then the global namespace, and finally the built-in namespace. So here they have not used the option of enclosed. So it is the second one is the right answer. Then comes the C part, which of the following is not a valid namespace. So I think the public namespace is not the valid namespace because we have global, built-in, and local namespace, right? In D part again there is a output questions. Now module, there is a function change where there we are passing the a value. Yes, we have function में what the function is doing. It is just b is equal to x into 2 for x in a and print b. आप क्या कर रहे हो, मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हो, यू मल्टीप्लाइंग द वैल्यू x into 2 for x in a. We can write like this, ठीक है. और इसमें हम दूसरे फंक्शन में अगेन वी हैव अ फंक्शन चेंज विथ a. जस्ट सी हियर, यहाँ पे फंक्शन नेम जो है दोनों का सेम है, पैरामीटर आल्सो वी आर पासिंग वन पैरामीटर, बट द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ द फंक्शन इज डिफरेंट. हम उसमें 2 से मल्टीप्लाई कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पे वो एप्लीकेशन ऑपरेटर इज देयर x into 2 and here x into x. So now we will print the values of b and this import change. You see here module 1 which we import कर रहे हैं, इसको module 2. There are other 2 modules through which we are importing the different name of the function is the same, but we are using 2 modules. और आपने यहाँ पे then we call this function. Here we are calling the function change s की value क्या list है, we are passing 1 2 3 values we pass. So what is the output of this question number? D is 4. So the answer of D is the fourth one, which is there is a name clash. Why? Because they have the same function name and the same parameters also. So there will be a name clash because there will be no output. Which function is being called? This is the problem. Now next question is, what is the output of the function shown below? आपको आउटपुट निकालनी, अगेन यू हैव टू यूज अ रैंडम मॉड्यूल चॉइस. रैंडम मॉड्यूल का चॉइस फंक्शन है एंड you need to find the output. So what will be the output of the random module? So it is the third is the correct option, that is either S or, because this question is cut, you can't read out the question properly. E part. Next is your F part. What possible outputs are expected to be displayed on screen at the time of execution of the program from the following code? ठीक है, अब ये outputs आपको उसको बतानी है. Okay, so first we import the random and then we have a list. AR is the list here from random. From is equal to random, just see here. Dot rand in function. Rand in function क्या है? Random module का function है. It will return you integer value. The rand int is returning the integer value from the tuple 1 comma 3. 2 is equal to random dot rand int 2 comma 4. And for I, k in the range. From 2 plus 1 print this. Okay, so what will be the answer of this F part? Actually the F part, you need to do the dry run. आपको उसको dry run करना पड़ेगा because you don't have the systems in your exams. Dry run means values डाल के देखना पड़ेगा. You need to check the values, and then find out what will be the answer. कि जैसे कि सपोज करते हैं पहले वाले में, जैसे हम इसमें वैल्यू हम क्या डाल रहे हैं, ARK. Okay, this and for k in the range from n 2 plus 1, ठीक है, रेंज स्टार्टिंग की आपकी फ्रॉम है और एंड की क्या है आपकी 2+1। ठीक है, सो 2 की वैल्यू आपको देखना पड़ेगा इसमें, व्हाट इज द 2 वैल्यू, यू कैन आल्सो प्रिंट द 2 वैल्यू सो दैट यू कम आउट व्हाट विल बी द एंड, कहाँ से जा रहे हो रेंज फंक्शन पे। एंड हियर द वैल्यू व्हिच दे हैव गिवन इज 30, 40 एंड 50। So we are starting from 1 because it is from में क्या आ रहा है पहला आपका 1, so 1 is at 30 only and then 1 2 3, so 1 is 30 40 and 50 and 2 plus 1 में क्या होगा, random number अगर हम कोई generate करते हैं, maybe it can be 4 also, so we can do practically this question. You want me to solve this question, I can solve for you, otherwise in exams you need to do dry run of the program। इसमें वैल्यूज डाल के देखेंगे और फिर फिगर आउट करेंगे क्या आउटपुट है इसके। नेक्स्ट इज जी पार्ट। नाउ व्हिच ऑफ द स्टेटमेंट्स इज यूज्ड टू इंपोर्ट ऑल द नेम्स फ्रॉम अ मॉड्यूल इनटू द करंट कॉलिंग मॉड्यूल। क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा है कि आप ऐसा कौन सा स्टेटमेंट यूज करोगे जो कि इंपोर्ट करेगा सारे नेम्स मॉड्यूल्स के इनटू द करंट कॉलिंग मॉड्यूल। सो आई थिंक इट्स द थर्ड ऑप्शन, दैट इज import asterisk should be there in G part, it is the third option। And H part, which of the variables tells the interpreter where to locate the module files imported into the program। आप अपनी मॉड्यूल फाइल्स जो हैं आपकी वो कहाँ पे लोकेट कर सकते हैं, which of the variables tell, is it the Python path which will tell, it is the import variable, so I think it is the third option, that is the Python path which tells where to locate the module files imported into the program। ठीक है, तो हमें पाइथन पाथ जो है जब हम पाइथन को इंस्टॉल करते हैं तो आपको इसको सेव करना पड़ेगा, यू नीड टू सेव इट। ठीक है, विद द पाइथन पाथ, पाथ जो आपका सिस्टम पे जो पाथ है, दिस इज एन व्हाट यू कैन से environment variable you need to create। ठीक है, next comes your I part, which of the following date function returns the current system date। I part में इसमें से कौन सा ऐसा date function है जो कि return करता है current system date। Is it the day function, it is the today function, or month or year? So the correct answer is the second one, that is today function। So today function will return you the current system date, right? And then comes your J part, what is the range of values that the random.random can return? So the answer is 0.0 से लेकर 1.0 तक। So this is the range of the values which the random.random function can return। Then after MCQs, we have some theory questions which are lined up। So now just see some theory questions of the chapter also, because this will end up your syllabus of the term 1। इसके साथ आपका term 1 खत्म हो गया। Okay, so I will revise with the chapters again, because I think many students have missed the classes initially in the month of July. So you may not have revised adequately the chapter of Python revision to functions। These two chapters I think you need to revise very well, and then comes your Python libraries, and then fourth is your file handling। So only 4 chapters will be coming in the term 1 for your syllabus। Okay, the term 2 will again consist of 4 chapters। तो अगर हम इसमें क्वेश्चंस देखते हैं इस चैप्टर के, Python has certain functions that readily use without having to write any special code। What are the types of functions which are used? Let me take your attendance। किसी को कुछ डिफिकल्टी लगी थी पेपर में? हाउ वाज द पेपर लाइक व्हिच you have given in the morning? So it was easy or it was little bit difficult? What was the, what you can say, paper आपका कैसे था? What was the difficulty range basically? Was it easy, medium or more difficult? How was the paper? Yes, are you able to listen to me? I was asking from all of you who are there in the class। Shreya, can you tell बेटे कैसे आपका पेपर हुआ? Tanish and Shreya from the last। Discuss afterwards। Now first let us understand this only। ठीक है, सबसे पहले हम क्वेश्चंस को रिवाइज कर लेते हैं चैप्टर के, जो कि लाइब्रेरीज का चैप्टर है। इसमें वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट व्हाट आर द सर्टेन फंक्शंस दैट readily use without having to write any special code। So the predefined functions which are always available for use are known as Python built-in functions। So some of the built-in functions are len, type, and then you have int, input, etc. So these are the built-in functions of the Python. We can use input function. Input जो है हमें string type का data is taken by the input function. Integer is used to convert into integer. Type is used to find the data type. Length is used to find the length of the variable. So next is second is what is the Python module and why? What is the significance of using the Python module? So as you know, module is chunk of the Python code that exists in its own, and it's intended to be used by the Python code outside itself. So modules allow us to bundle together the code in the form in which it can be easily used. इसका मतलब क्या है? मॉड्यूल एक फाइल है, इसमें हमारे पास जो पाइथन का जो कोड है वो एक बंडल होता है. बंडल मीन्स इट इज इन वन प्लेस ओनली. वी हैव ऑल द वेरिएबल्स being defined, we have the functions defined in a module, we have what you can say, uh, so it can have some other return statements are also there in the functions method. If we are using functions, then it can. So module in is a bundled code basically, you can say, in which you can use, and module can be imported also in other programs so that the functions and the other definitions in the imported modules becomes available to the code that imports them. So we can break the program into different modules as per the specification or the requirement. So and this is what is the main significance. इसकी एक ये भी significance है कि आपको बार-बार उसको लिखना नहीं पड़ेगा. That is, you are saving the lines of code and you are saving the time also. Because once the module is written, then you can use the module in other programs also. So this is again a significance of a Python module. Next question number 3 is what are the doc strings and how are they useful? So doc string is like putting comments. They are the regular Python triple quoted strings uh, which executes when executing a function body. The doc string does not do anything. They are acting just like comments only, but Python stores them as a part of the function documentation. So the documentation can later be displayed using the help function. एक्चुअली क्या होता है कि हमें एक डॉक्यूमेंटेशन क्यों चाहिए पाइथन के प्रोग्राम में? इसलिए चाहिए और जब आप कोड लिखते हो, द प्रोग्रामर हु इज राइटिंग द कोडिंग इन पाइथन लैंग्वेज, then he can explain the code using documentation. He can document his or her code. He or she basically, I mean to say, can document his or her code. So अब अगर आप डॉक्यूमेंट नहीं करोगे तो उससे हमें समझ नहीं आएगा कि फंक्शन कर क्या रहा है. So this documentation can later be, we can display the documentation also using the help function. So even though doc string appears like the comments, but they are different from comments. They are not exactly the comments. So हम इसको किस में कैसे यूज करते हैं? They are the triple quoted strings in the first thing in the function body. Okay, so doc strings are just for documentation, for making us know that what this function is doing, what it will return, what the execution, what is the role of this function. It's the doc string. Next question number 4 is what happens when the Python encounters an import statement in a program, and what could happen if one more import statement for the same module already imported in the same program. क्वेश्चन कह रहा है कि पाइथन जो है एक इनकाउंटर करता है इंपोर्ट स्टेटमेंट को प्रोग्राम में, तो क्या होता है? सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन इज सेइंग व्हाट वुड हैपन इफ मोर देन वन इंपोर्ट स्टेटमेंट फॉर द सेम मॉड्यूल ऑलरेडी इंपोर्टेड इन द सेम प्रोग्राम. एक से ज्यादा मॉड्यूल जो है अगर हम उसको यूज करते हैं सेम प्रोग्राम में, तो व्हाट विल हैपन? सो फर्स्ट पार्ट इज what happens when we encounter the import statement. So the first part says the code of the imported module is interpreted and executed, and the second is that the defined functions and variables created in the modules are available to the program that import the module. And for imported module, a new namespace is set up with the same name as that of the module. So any duplicate import statement for the same module in the same program is ignored by the Python. That is important thing. अगर ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, जो हमारे मॉड्यूल होते हैं, जैसे जो भी मॉड्यूल आप इंपोर्टेड मॉड्यूल यू आर इंपोर्टिंग इन द प्रोग्राम, नेम स्पेस जो है सेम नेम की जो आपके प्रोग्राम जो है वो आपका एज दैट ऑफ द मॉड्यूल नेम इज बीइंग क्रिएटेड. So any duplicate import statement for the same module in the same program will be ignored by the Python. So it will not be considered if you have the same type of import statement in the same program. Okay, now next question number 5 is what is the utility of the Python standard library, math module and the render module? So क्या यूटिलिटी मीन्स यूज क्या है इसका, मैथ मॉड्यूल का और रैंडम मॉड्यूल का. सो रैंडम इज बेसिकली यूज फॉर रैंडम नंबर जनरेशन एंड मैथ मॉड्यूल इज यूज फॉर मैथ रिलेटेड फंक्शंस that works with all the numbers types, except for the complex number. तो इसको याद रखना, मैथ मॉड्यूल में कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर्स नहीं यूज होते. It is working for all the number type except for the complex numbers. That means it deals with the real numbers only, not the imaginary numbers. To the math module. Now, what is the module list? There are at least two reasons why we need the modules. The module is again a Python file, and we need modules because of their following silent features. A module allows the code reusability, it makes the main program shorter and more readable, enables clearer code organization. So with these points. Seventh is observe the following code and answer the questions based on it. अब यहाँ पे क्या एक आउटपुट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन, आई थिंक दिस इज अगेन जस्ट सी हियर, ऐसे पेपर में आ सकते हैं आपके क्वेश्चंस. दीस टाइप ऑफ क्वेश्चंस कैन कम इन योर एग्जाम आल्सो, जहाँ पे कोड दिया हुआ है आपको, दो फंक्शंस दिए हुए हैं और फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स फॉर द फॉलोइंग कोड. तो पहले में क्या दिया हुआ, मैथ अंडरस्कोर ऑपरेशन, गेट द नेम ऑफ द मॉड्यूल, देन यू हैव टू प्रिंट व्हाट, प्रिंट इनपुट. ठीक है, पहला क्या होगा आपका, जो फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स है उसमें प्रिंट, इट विल बी, just see your answer is first is the input only, and the second answer is your math underscore operation underscore name. Then you have this is the name of the, you're printing the name of the module. So here the second part, it will be printed, this will be the printed math underscore operation underscore name. And in the third you are, you are adding, add one and two, one and the second part. सो पहले पार्ट में आप इनपुट ले रहे हैं मैथ ऑपरेशन का, सेकंड में आप यू आर प्रिंटिंग द नेम ऑफ द मैथ, प्रिंटिंग द, और यू कैन सी प्रिंट मींस बेसिकली द आउटपुट ओनली, द मैथ ऑपरेशन की आउटपुट के, देन यू हैव द एडिंग वन एंड टू. सो आप व्हेन यू ऐड अप बेसिकली यूज द ऐड फंक्शन. ठीक है, कौन सा मैथ ऑपरेशन जो है आपका मॉड्यूल, उसमें हम कौन सा यूज कर रहे हैं, वी आर यूजिंग द ऐड फंक्शन ऑफ द मैथ अंडरस्कोर ऑपरेशन. सो एक मॉड्यूल हमें दिया हुआ, उसमें दो फंक्शंस हैं, तो आपको यहाँ उसको लिखना पड़ेगा which functions you are using. Next is consider the code given in the question 7 and on the basis of it complete the code given below. So ऐसे ही क्वेश्चंस हैं, जैसे क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 and 8. These type of questions are expected to be coming in your in board exams also, because coding will be there. आपको उसमें फिलिंग द ब्लैंक्स करके दे देंगे, इसको उसको भरो उसमें से ऑप्शंस में से. ठीक है, तो यहाँ तो आपको ऑप्शंस नहीं दी हुई, यू नीड टू राइट योर ओन सर, बट इन योर एग्जाम्स द ऑप्शंस विल बी गिवन. Okay, it is not an MCQ based question, question number 8, but in the exam you don't have to write, because it is supposed to be MCQ. So one option you need to select from the other options, but you should know the answer. ठीक है, so उसमें पहले में क्या लिखा है, कंसिडर द कोड में कि import the subtract function now from the math module. उसके लिए हम क्या करेंगे, we will use from the math module. ठीक है, you will use import subtract. We will use the first is the import subtract. Okay, will import the subtract module for subtracting 1 from 2, and then the second is print subtract. Okay, 2 minus 1, whatever is the output is 1. The third is no dash. ठीक है, उसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है, print subtract 2 comma 1. इसमें हम क्या करेंगे, हम subtract भी कर रहे हैं और add भी कर रहे हैं. There are two print statement in the third one. So we will use import as aspect, which will import both the functions, that is subtract as well as add. So now next is how you can locate the environment variables for Python to locate the module files imported into a program. I'm just stopping sharing here, only less than 1 minute is left. So we will take up the class tomorrow and we will discuss further these questions and we will revise, right? So bye for now.